All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the clerk will note all members are present and accounted for. Ceremonies and announcements. We have one proclamation tonight for America 250. Whereas the United States of America is celebrating its independence in 1776 and its rich history from that date forward. Whereas Post Falls citizens past and present have contributed to the history of the United States from the American Revolution to the settling of the country from coast to coast. Whereas Post Falls citizens have served their country with military service and community service throughout the United States and the world. Whereas Post Falls joins cities and towns throughout the state of Idaho in commemorating this 250th year celebration event with activities and events. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Randy Westland, Mayor of the City of Post Falls, Idaho, do hereby proclaim that Post Falls joins our nation in the celebration of America's rich history and heritage throughout 2026. Should we do the photo now? Because we've got an executive session at the end.
Oh, we love it.
Let's do that now.
By the flag or
Yeah, that'd be good. Wait, who's got the camera?
Let me get out of here.
do you need introductions of these people? I'd be glad to introduce them.
We've probably met, but I'm not sure about names.
All right. Well, this is Catherine McClintock. She's president of the Post Falls Historical Society. I'm a past president, and this is a past president, Carol Yost of the Post Falls Historical Society. And this is regent of the Daughters of the American Revolution, Lieutenant George Farragut chapter, Kathy Swanson. She also has a family here in Post Falls, so we work on historic projects, not just for the year, day in and day out.
All right, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Line up for a
Kathy,
photo by
you
the
need to
flags
get in
here?
with
No, it's
this.
okay. I'll take her here. Switch it for you. You want to get scooch? We have scooch together.
Yeah, scooch together. Sit down, Catherine.
You can come around to this side too.
Yeah, go on the other side.
Oh, sure,
Okay,
sure,
you
sure.
you go.
Go, Cat. Go, Cat.
Scooch.
Oh. Oh, we put our face forward, huh?
Okay, thank you. Also got a text message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Okay, any amendments to the agenda tonight? Declarations of conflict, ex parte contacts, or site visits? Seeing none, please present the consent calendar.
Item A is minutes from the January 6, 2026 City Council meeting. Item B is payables, January 7th through January 20th, 2026. Item C is November cash and investments. Item D is West Fork Townhome subdivision, final plat approval. And item E is Killdeer Meadows subdivision, final plat approval.
Any questions on the consent calendar?
I move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Ziegler,
Aye.
Plou,
Aye.
Luca,
Aye.
Stigleader. Aye. Mosby,
Aye.
Malloy.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next item up of public hearings. Tonight we have none. Unfinished business. Returning ordinances. We have engineering and design services agreement with Welch Comer Engineers for the Fisher Lift Station project.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. There's only one presentation up here, so lucky you guys. Oops. There it is. Okay. As I mentioned, good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Jackson Fleshman, project manager for the city of Post Falls. Here tonight to present to you a design and engineering services agreement with Welch Comer Engineers for the Fisher Lift Station project. Fisher Lift Station is currently, existing Fisher Lift Station is currently located in the northwest area of the city, along Fisher Avenue, just east of Howell Road. Here you can see existing Fisher Lift Station. That red square in the bottom is the existing site, and the red square in the top is the new site, which we purchased 2023, 2024, and I'll go into that a little bit further. For council members who maybe haven't dealt with lift stations before or pump stations, this is for you guys, so please forgive council members that are aware. Very quick diagram to kind of go through it. Starting left to right, so that house that's light blue has a service, presumably a toilet would flush. It would go to the public sewer main, which would then gravity flow to a pump station, or lift station is how we seem to refer to them within Post Falls. But then that water would then be pumped or lifted via force main, so a pressurized force main uphill, and then eventually to the treatment plant. So very simplified diagram, but that's the gist. So project background, trying to look at you guys, not looking at me. Project background, 2019 collection system master plan identified this as a project that had high and medium priority improvements that were needed. This was followed up with a 2021 Prairie and Idaho sewer study, which identified 3 separate projects within the next 5 to 10 year time frame for phased improvements within the Fisher Sewer Basin. And then this was followed up with a 2023 preliminary engineering report that ultimately informed the design for property purchase for the new station, which was the larger red square that you guys saw in that current slide. So yeah, using confirmation with data of existing conditions and design flows and data from our master plan, our engineer with this PER was able to develop the basis of design for the future lift station. Helped inform the size of the property needed, because this is going from a local lift station to a regional lift station, which just means it's processing a bit more water. And then we also had some site survey done as a part of this PER. And what that did was develop a legal description for land purchase survey and of the parcel, and then legal description. The existing Fisher Lift Station was constructed in 2002. As I mentioned, there were some high and medium priority improvements identified in our master plan. A lot of them are some of the hot items that occur with our other lift stations, but backup power, fall protection, some equipment upgrades, and overflow capacity. I put this here to remind myself. So a local lift station is less than 500 gallons a minute. Once it goes past that point, it becomes regional. So the new Fisher Lift Station incorporated the condition, or will incorporate the condition-driven improvements identified in the 2019 Collection System Master Plan. It is now identified as a regional lift station because there will be increased flows. And this is currently anticipated to be funded through capacity fees. However, we do plan to do an analysis of whether maintenance funds should be utilized for the condition-driven improvements during the design phase of the project. Up here on the screen is a very preliminary site layout that kind of gives you an idea. So the property purchase was the whole thing, but that area that's hatched in red is dedicated to future right-of-way sidewalks. The area in purple is what we actually have to work with for the future lift station, which is still larger than the existing site. It's about 75 feet by 175 feet. The location of the overflow basin will likely change. This is just preliminary design. Everyone's favorite topic, so the financials. The total request tonight is for $350,790. The design and engineering contract with Welch is $318,900, and we are requesting a 10% contingency to bring it up to $350,790. This would be funded through the Fisher Lift Station upgrade budget. And then we may come back at a later date to add construction phase services with Welch Comer. Using information we know today, along with information pulled from our master plan, the estimated project cost of the lift station is approximately $3.5 million. And that's all said and done, design, construction. This project may include some of the gravity work in Project 1. So let me flip to the next slide. So the 3 projects that I had mentioned in the previous slide that came from our 2021 Prairie and Idaho sewer study are below, or on the screen. And I'll kind of talk through them, and they're color-coded, so hopefully that helps a little bit. Forgive me Councilor Mosby and Luca, I don't think you've seen this project. But project 1 is the decommissioning of Guy Road Lift Station, which is on the intersection of Fisher Avenue and Guy Road. And then running a gravity sewer line, very deep gravity sewer, from there approximately to the existing lift station site at Fisher, that southern lift station site.
If I could
Please,
interrupt
yeah.
for a moment, is the Guy Road lift station at the end of its operational life or something, or why are we decommissioning that?
To get rid of as many lift stations as possible. They are, as I understand it, operational. They're more of a cost to the city than, maybe I should punt that one, but we don't like lift stations. It causes us to work on them, operate them. We'd rather things just
The
flow.
idea being that the new one will handle the capacity that the Guy Road one used to.
Correct. And more importantly, it was identified because there was downfalls to the existing station, things that were not up to snuff.
Oh, thank you.
We, through the course of design, we were concerned that we had maybe bitten off a little more than we can chew when it comes to completion of the full project within one construction season. And so fairly recently, we elected to, for lack of a better term, chop off the ends of this project 1, which is just the decommissioning of the Guy Road and the connection to Fisher Lift Station. Doing this and working with our design consultants, we feel that we are able to complete the entire gravity sewer section within one construction season, while still allowing a little bit of comfortability. Because if you really try to cram every single day in there, you're gonna end up potentially regretting that. So those things, the decommissioning of the station and the connection, would at this exact time we were planning to do those as a part of project 2, which is the new Fisher Lift Station. Construction of which would occur at the earliest in 2027. That is what I'm here asking for a design contract for tonight, is for new Fisher Lift Station. The design of it is tonight's ask. But this is kind of a broader view of that sewer basin for you guys, just a little bit of knowledge. And then project 3 would be a connection later down the line that is not planned in the immediate coming years. Next steps. So the parcel that we own, I believe it's actually currently in the county, so we are annexing that, or that annexation process has begun, and will be concurrent with design. And then project design through 26 and construction through 27 is the intent. Questions?
We keep having winters like this. Are we just gonna have construction all year round?
It's a really frustrating thing for
I
me
bet.
personally, because sometimes I look out my door and I'm like, you could totally do it, and then sometimes you can't. Really, it's a temperature thing for the asphalt.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, it is frustrating when we expect these big winters and they don't come. So
May I ask about the capacity? And
Absolutely.
I might
Yeah.
ask this every time you bring this to us, just to kind of reiterate it. So
Yeah.
the Guy Lift Station does have the capacity to service the development that is currently there, but the Fisher Lift Station is being built to service like Crown Point Reserve.
you want to handle this one, John? Pardon me. I just don't want to answer
No,
incorrectly
you're fine, you're
with
fine.
where the flow is coming from.
Yeah.
I'm closer to the microphone, so I'll take the first stab at it. I'm John Beecham, Public Works Director. If I get too far off base, though, I might defer to Rob Paulus, the city engineer, for some advice. So both Guy Road and Fisher Lift Station are existing lift stations.
Okay.
Guy Road and Fisher both have some additional capacity as they exist today, so some development is still occurring under the existing lift stations.
Okay.
The options for Guy Road would be to either upgrade it or decommission it with a pipe that goes to a bigger lift station.
Mhm.
We're going with the bigger pipe
Essentially.
option.
Okay.
The new Fisher lift station is both replacing the existing outdated station and also increasing the capacity to serve more development in that area, hence the funding by capacity fees.
But those are capacity that we're funding it through capacity fees that have been paid by residents that are currently using it, not by the future capacity that it has. I just need a different word than cap and capacity.
Yeah, unfortunately, capacity fees are really structured in how they must be developed, so they are backward looking. So each time you buy a house or a developer builds a house, they're paying into the existing system. You can use those capacities to fund growth, which is what we have elected to budget those dollars for.
And we still can use those fees should we find the inefficiencies, I think that was referenced, or what is not technically up to snuff. We can use additional funds to backfill that. Is that right?
The nice thing about capacity fees and user fees is you can use those both for remedying existing deficiencies or expanding the system, in contrast with impact fees like for transportation, which cannot be used to remedy existing deficiencies.
So when we get the cap fees for the additional development that will be serviced by these lift stations that is not paid into the system just yet, we can still use that money to perhaps service what we are building for them that has not been paid for by their capacity fees yet. Yeah?
You can.
Okay.
The ability of things to do with capacity fees is basically anything that entity is allowed to spend money on, as I understand it. So
Okay.
if we collect a capacity fee, we can use it for operations and maintenance, we can use it for personnel,
Okay.
or we can use it to build something new.
Okay, I think that's helpful to tease out when we're constantly having to have the growth pace for growth, and how is this money spent, and why are we spending $3 million to service something that doesn't exist yet and hasn't paid into the system yet.
Yeah.
But if we can use what is paid into the system once that is built out, even for maintenance or other things, I think that that's helpful to know. So, okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
I have a question about
Yeah.
potential savings along the same line with the decommissioning of the Guy Road lift station into a
Correct.
gravity feed. First of all, we're not going to upgrade it, obviously, if we're
No.
decommissioning, so a bit of savings there. But what is the service horizon for a lift station like that for future investment? What's the 20 years, 30 years, or it's growth dependent, probably?
I'm gonna punt again, unfortunately, to Mr. Borenpole, or John, perhaps, if just they can speak to the operations of the stations a bit more in tune than I can. I'm not involved with the operation of the station.
Yep.
That's a great question, and thanks for asking it. John Beecham again. The way I think about it is we need to replace the pumps and some of the electrical gear about every 10 years on a lift station, and a major rebuild of it about every 20 years. So we have approximately 30 lift stations, give or take. That's about 1.5 a year.
Yeah. I like the idea of using gravity to our advantage, so.
Yeah, I heard a statement, unverified, from an engineering firm that said the construction cost of a lift station is about 1/10 of its lifetime cost. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thank you, Councilman. Gravity is good. That's just gravity lines all everywhere. Let's do it.
Straight in the river, out to the ocean.
Yeah, straight in the river. Let's lower the
Just
plan.
kidding, EPA.
What happens with the land once these other two lift stations are abandoned?
Great
Can
question.
it be remediated? Can it be put to other use? Sold off? Like what
I have
happens with it?
a bit more information on the existing Fisher lift station than I do for Guy Road. The existing station we will likely hold on to, and I would again defer to Mr. Borenpole for further ideas on what we would do with it. But it is my understanding that there is, I want to say it's a 60-foot sewer easement through that whole, and it actually, let me see if I can. So that southern station, you can see it actually splits two properties. There's a sewer easement, because even with the decommissioning and getting out of this site, we will still have sewer lines coming through here. So sorry. There is a sewer easement that is 60 foot on either side of that property line all the way to the road. So I wouldn't see us relieving it to, I can't say for sure, but I believe we would hold on to it. As for the other property, which I don't think I actually have a zoomed in picture of, I apologize on this presentation. It is ours as of right now for the project. We're planning, once we decommission, we're planning just to leave that site gravel. Mm-hmm. But if there are ideas or someone tells me to do otherwise, I think that is, we're open to that. But currently we don't have any plans for it, no.
With moving to the new site,
Mm-hmm.
is this budget inclusive of any costs to get new easements that will bring these lines into that new site? Like, or does there even need to be any change to the easements?
I don't believe there'll be any changes.
Okay.
So no, but I don't think there will be any need.
Okay.
Maybe ducks. Maybe we could put ducks
I-
on these small pieces of property. I don't know,
Ducks,
just-
whatever animals we like.
Ducks.
Works for me.
Further questions? All right, entertain a motion.
I would move to approve the engineering design services agreement with Welch Engineers for the Fisher Lift Station project.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please take the roll.
Plugh,
Aye.
Luca,
Aye.
Stigliter,
Aye.
Mosby,
Aye.
Malloy,
Aye.
Ziegler,
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Next item under new business, K-9 agreement for Detective Jason Cope and electronic storage detection dog Uno.
He doesn't move fast. We'll wait just a second.
He's detecting.
Yeah. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I thank you for giving us the opportunity to come up and introduce our newest partner to the team. And ESD Uno here just came back, and his handler, Detective Cope, Jason Cope, has just finished training to come back and be street ready and ready to go out and work some criminal cases here in Post Falls. Give you some background a little bit on Uno. He's a 3.5-year-old yellow lab, as you can see. He originally was a service dog, and he didn't do well in the service that he was originally trained for. So they brought him out of that and found that his niche was this. And so he has completed 6 months of training himself, and then 2 weeks together as joint training as handler and partner together. He can find electronics in all different capacities in different places, and we're really excited to see. It's the first one we've ever had here, and I'm excited to see where he can be useful, because I think this will be outside the scope of what we think it is too, from finding missing property to potentially even finding things outside of criminal matters of helping identify and find people that might be lost or missing. So we'll see where that all goes, and I'm sure that Detective Cope can give more information about that. The program was through the Secret Service, and we're the first agency here in Kootenai County and in Idaho, in our region actually, that received a dog through the program, so we're really excited about that. The dog himself came at no cost to the city. They're generally about $8,000 to $12,000 for the dog, and then another $4,000 to $5,000 for the training, and all of that was paid for by the Secret Service. Obviously, our maintenance of the dog from here forward is on us for vet care and for food and such things like that. And we'll have him at the PD frequently. Today was his first full day there. As you can see, he's very mellow and relaxed and likes to be pet, so it's kind of a nice addition compared to our patrol dogs. Detective Cope came to us starting in 2004 in Merced Police Department in California, and in 2021 he came to Post Falls PD as a police officer, moved to investigations in 2023, and then was selected to be the digital forensics investigator that we have. So he has the cyber lab at the police department. He's very busy inside there, and as we all know, ICAC, Internet Crimes Against Children, we're on that task force, and those cases get more and more and more, and those are making children victims of crimes. And so we want to go out hard after those people, and this dog will give us the tools to do that and find hidden electronics that people that have child pornography have hidden in their house when we go to execute a search warrant there, which we're doing more and more often. And we want to continue that and keep arresting these people and get them off the street. So we're really thankful to have Uno on the team, and we're looking forward to his capabilities and helping us find and get bad people off the streets. And we'll be open for any questions if you have any.
Can you find stuff like AirTags, like Apple AirTags and stuff like on people's cars? Like,
Absolutely, he can. Anything Bluetooth related, cellular related, he can find. So.
That's one of the capabilities too, is we frequently get estranged relationships that have, they suspect that there might be tracking devices in their car or under their car, and it's hard to find that as a human, right? An AirTag's pretty small. AirTags are kind of the harder, they alert you like, hey, there's a strange AirTag's following you around, but there's other companies that don't, and so people frequently drop those down in heater vents, and they're hard to find. We can't find them as humans without ripping your car apart, where he can find it by smelling it. So really, like I said, there's so many uses that we don't even probably understand what its capabilities will be. At least I don't. His handler probably does way more than I do. But it's something that we haven't had before, and it's a regional resource, so we really value our partnerships, making sure that we go out there and look out for all of our region, not just us here at the city. And that's something we value and have continued to do, and he'll be a resource for everyone. So when they're out there arresting offenders in their community, we can be of assistance to them as well.
Awesome. It's great news.
Detective, I was curious. There's so many electronic devices out there. In previous dogs that I've worked with, they walk by narcotics. They want their toy so bad that they're scratching at it or alerting on it, even if you're not asking them to search. How does this dog's training, how do they cut down the noise? Because, he's sitting next to a laptop computer and not alerting on it, so I was noticing that.
Great question. My lab has hundreds of electronics at any given time. So essentially, I give him the let's go to work command. And then while we're working, I'll give him seek, and I'll just direct him in the capacity. And so hypothetically, if we're serving a search warrant and somebody has, say, 15 computers in there, I'm probably going to have those removed just to narrow it down, because obviously, a micro SD card in a pile of computers is going to be very difficult to find, because he's going to indicate on all of those.
So if you gave him the command to search here, then he would have alerted on that laptop that was sitting there?
Correct. As of right now, he's eaten for the day because he works off of a food reward. And so anytime he's training, he's actually getting his food amount for the day. And so being he doesn't have his go to work or seek command right now, he's just smelling stuff. So.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
As the budget, I was going to say Nimrod, and that's not the word that I was looking for, but like the one that's always asking about money. Obviously, this is going to cost us slightly more money in our PD, and it sounds like we're okay and we're comfortable with that. But what I wanted to say was that outside of the kind of different compensation considerations that are in the packet, I wanted to say thank you, because I know that, again, you're getting kind of a different sort of contract with like a different schedule and some different allowances to be able to go out. But this is really like you're committing to keeping this dog for the duration of its life, potentially, and your family is committing to helping take care of this dog really for the benefit of Kootenai County and our region, as you've stated. And so I just wanted to say thank you to you both for making that sacrifice and that commitment to especially all of the kids around here and helping us out with that. So thanks.
Well, we're very excited, and I think you'll probably see in the near future cool stories about him out there doing good work. So if you have any questions, if you ever want to stop by the PD and see him, just come by and you can check him out. And if you didn't get a chance to pet him now, I'm more than willing. I'm sure that Jason would be glad to bring him around if you didn't get a chance to, or you come by and see him at the police department. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we need a motion to approve the agreement to take care of our newest team member.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Luca,
Aye.
Stigliter,
Aye.
Mosby,
Aye.
Malloy,
Aye.
Ziegler,
Aye.
Blue,
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next item up is citizens' issues. This section of the agenda is reserved for citizens wishing to address the city council regarding city-related issues that are not on the agenda. Is anyone wishing to speak come forward? State your name for the record, please.
My name is Kim Brown. I'm a past president of the Post Falls Historical Society. We network with a variety of historic preservation groups throughout Kootenai County and the state of Idaho. So I'm overjoyed. Thank you so much for the proclamation for America 250. You're probably seeing a lot of flashes on your local media with regard to the country's 250th birthday. So of course, being a Post Falls resident, we are here to do our rah-rah for our own town. And so that's basically, I appreciate the proclamation. I think I came to your meeting last year. And within our ranks here in Post Falls, we have residents that are related to George Washington himself. And of course, many of us we're descendants of the American Revolution, which some of you may know. The people that were involved, it were the women supporting their men. Some of them took over the cannon when the husband was killed. Some of the little boys went off and played the fife at 10 years old. So there was a lot of input, and even some of the old guys out plowing in the field were participating in the American Revolution 250 years ago. So there's a lot of historic pride in what we have. Our unfortunate thing is a lot of times people don't know what we have here in Post Falls. So we have residents that live here who have descendants from the American Revolution. In our cemetery, we have many, many Civil War veterans. We even have a veteran of the Mexican War that's buried up at Evergreen Cemetery. And if you're trying to compare dates, the Mexican War was before the Civil War, and we have out with our statue of John Mullen out here. Some people think that's Frederick Post, but it's actually John Mullen, and he was a veteran of the Mexican War also. But at any rate, I'm not going to get into the details of Post Falls history because I've been overjoyed with it for a lot of years. But what I'm thankful for is that you are actually picking up the torch. Every once in a while when these centennial celebrations come along, people get excited. And then they kind of put the stuff away and they're expecting someone to take care of it or keep it out in the public. So back 37 years ago, the Post Falls City Fathers, our own Kent Helmer, thought that we should have our own historical society here in Post Falls. The reason we have one based on city leadership is because the other entities weren't preserving Post Falls history, whether it be the state of Idaho or the Museum of North Idaho. Folks were giving them things, and they never saw them again. So as this town has grown, and as we follow in the footsteps of our history and heritage from long ago, here within our ranks, we have a lot to really be proud of. So our greatest strength, of course, is our citizenry. And when we're thinking about our volunteers, and that's what this town kind of started on, a lot of the elected officials were all volunteers. So we walk in that with that pride and also with that energy. So if there's one thing that we should be energized about, it's about walking in the footsteps of the heritage that we have. So we didn't end up just being here the 9th largest city in Idaho. It is because of a lot of different efforts on the part of our citizenry. Taxpayers, volunteers, community service organizations. But we have a lot to be thankful for. So I've kind of put together, I appreciate Shannon Howard's help with getting out this proclamation. So we're already out. We talked about a proclamation last year, but I want to thank you for making our citizenry aware of it. Because a lot of folks are going, what's happening? What's happening in Post Falls? So that's why I want to take just a few minutes to share with you what we have put together. Your proclamation is important because that sets the tone for your interest in this town and our heritage. So that's great. If you get a chance to promote and share the idea of oral video histories, we also are doing that in conjunction with the Idaho State Historical Society, where we interview citizens. They could be their veterans. We have a gal that has a grandfather, her relatives went all the way back to the Revolution. She has the story documented and she wants to blab about it. We want to record her. But in doing that, we want to make sure that it's preserved for the future. So it is going to be preserved down at the Idaho State Historical Society archives. So there's some trust levels with any group that's out there. The more we can preserve, the more we're going to have for the future. Also, in addition to the oral video history program, we also are working with the Post Falls Chamber, Christina Petit, and also with Darla Dreyer at the Jacqueline Center. They are putting together a wonderful Heritage Food Fest for May 30. Please mark your calendars. Please be on hand to attend that. It's going to be an all-day event over between the Chamber and the Jack's parking lot. The Post Falls Historical Society also will begin its early season starting in May, which is National Historic Preservation Month. They're opening up, and we will be having some public lectures, one featuring George Washington and the caricature of Logan Creighton. You may have seen, he's a living history presenter. So we're trying to rev up and utilize our Post-Falls citizenry to bring them out and to showcase their history and their connection to the national history and also to the present day. So that's how we're going to do some of that. We're hoping for a small historic costume parade, all on May 30, to grab the attention of our kids. Kids like to dress up. Kids like to relate with their history, their family history, and the country's history. So we hope to work with the school systems on that. Our little Post Falls Museum over here, I want to pump that up a little bit because we do tours for a lot of history groups during the off-season. So we just had some last week. So if you have relatives or you know of school situations, please send them our way because we open the place up. Give us a call, and it's an all-volunteer effort. I do want to make you aware, though, that this wonderful building over here is one of our oldest remaining in Post Falls. So you have we have several National Historic Register sites that are on city property, and you may or may not be aware of that. But when we first got started with historic preservation, Treaty Rock wasn't even listed on the National Register.
Just to let you know, we're over time, so we should.
Yeah, well, yes,
anything
and
else you
everyone
need?
knows that, yes,
Right.
how passionate we all are about it.
Thank
But
you.
I just want to, if we throw some information your way, take a peek at it. At least this gives you an awareness, and we are extremely proud of your efforts, the past efforts of previous leadership, and we're hoping to showcase our town and its heritage and history. Thanks for your time. Sorry,
you.
I'm over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak? All right, seeing none. Administrative and staff reports. Tonight we have none.
We have none tonight, sir.
Mayor and council comments. For me, I'll just say that I think everybody should take this year as an opportunity to do a little research into family history. My wife and I have been doing that kind of in honor of America 250, looking at our own roots and our own ties to the American Revolution. And I think it's important to preserve that history and find out where your family came from, where did your great-grandparents live, and make sure that that stuff gets preserved. So thank you. Council comments.
I just want to say today's my wife and I are celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Honey, there's champagne in the fridge and the hot tub is heated. I'll be home as soon as possible.
Clue 25.
That's
Congratulations.
right. Blue 25.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any comments? Okay, next, we do need an executive session tonight.
That is correct.
To last how long, roughly?
About 12 minutes.
All right. I move to enter an executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-206D to consider records that are exempt from disclosure as provided in Chapter 1, Title 74, Idaho Code. Further, that no action will be taken during the session and that the session will last approximately 12 minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Stiglater?
Aye.
Mosby?
Aye.
Malloy?
Aye.
Ziegler?
Aye.
Flu?
Aye.
Luca?
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move into executive session. All right, return from executive session. Next item up on the agenda is consideration of adding invocation to city council agendas. How would you like to act?
Move to table this to a future meeting.
Second?
Motion and a second, further discussion? Roll call, please.
Who second?
Oh, me.
Okay. Mosby?
Aye.
Malloy?
Aye.
Ziegler?
Aye.
Flu?
Aye.
Luca?
Aye.
Stickleader?
Aye.
Motion passes, thank you. Any other business to come forward before we adjourn?
I have
Seeing-
one question.
Oh.
At the last meeting, there was a gal that came up to talk about the Harmony Place HOA, and we were going to look into that. I don't know what the process is for hearing back on that or who I asked the question or directed it to. I was wondering if we knew anything more about what we could do as a city for that lady.
That was tasked to Bob Seal, wasn't it? I don't see him here.
Yeah, Bob is looking into it. I don't know where we sit tonight, so let me look into it tomorrow, and I'll figure out where we're at, and we'll get some answers back.
Thank you.
Seeing no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.